Okay, so here's the packaging that you're going to be receiving, and we're going to do a little bit of an unboxing here. So you've got the A.P.E.X Predator, a holster redefined. So this is actually one that's been custom lasered. We'll show a picture of what the regular ones are going to look like. Lasering will be offered at an additional price. So basically you have your hanger, and we allow lasering in that area if you choose to do so. Here is the body. It's going to be loosely assembled with the insert that you chose, and it'll come in a default limited optics configuration and whatnot. And this is the type of surface area that you have available for lasering. As you see, spare parts below. We're going to include a card with a QR code that's going to have an instructional video on our YouTube that does a complete deep assembly. We've got torque specs on the back. And then the additional parts that you get, you'll get a small and a large barrel plug arm. You're going to have an adjustable thigh pad. It comes with a standard thigh pad, but we're including a larger adjustable if you like. This is a spare hardware in case you forgot to Loctite something and a screw fell out and whatnot. This is your adjustable ball joint, and we'll talk about this a little bit more in depth in another section. One of the core principles that we want to apply is we are not a universal holster company. This holster, for example, is very specific to a very specific trigger guard. One of the gripes that we've had in our past trials and tribulations with other holsters is they were trying to be universal, or they'd have minor adjustments to try and capture the whole market. We don't want to be that company. So basically what we're going to do is have specific inserts for specific guns. The flip side to that is we are not releasing an insert right now for every single grip that's out on the market, but we promise you we are striving hard to get out as many as we can, as quickly as we can. So what we're starting out with is insert A is meant for SV and Atlas Alpha grip. Another key point to this is when we say Atlas, we're not talking about a blanket statement of all Atlas guns. Before Atlas made the Alpha grip, they used to use other manufacturers' grips. So please note, we said Atlas Alpha grip, okay? Insert B will accommodate Chile and the Gen 2 staccato grip. It may work for others, we just haven't tested those yet. And insert C will work for the MPA grips. We're currently working on Limcat, and we will strive hard and whatnot to get you as many inserts as we can, as fast as we can. We're going to be working on Glock, and we're going to be working on CZ down the road. So please bear with us, but it's a very positive thing for the shooters out there that we're not trying to be a one-stop universal holster company. Something else that we're bringing to the table is spare parts. We want to make sure you can keep your holster looking fresh. If there's anything that's potentially a consumable, we want to offer that to you on our website at a very reasonable price. Even if you just want to freshen up your holster, everything will be available outside of holster bodies and main hanger bodies. We do stand behind our products, so if something does drastically happen, like you take a spill and you bend something, or you put a huge gouge in it, just reach out to us and we'll see what we can do or offer a discount to replace that item. So a huge aspect to holsters is safety, and that is foremost important to us. And as you can see with this 3D printed cutout of our inserts, we are nowhere near the trigger shoe. This is actually one of the longer trigger shoes out on the market, and you can see there's plenty of distance from that trigger shoe. There is nothing inside of this insert that can get close to your trigger shoe. And so safety is definitely a key aspect to us.
Let's talk barrel supports. So with your holster, you're going to get 3 different lengths. Your short one is for sub 5-inch guns. Your medium is for anywhere from a 5 to a 6-inch gun. And your long one is for your open gun lengths. So people ask if they can use the holster without a barrel support, and the answer is yes. You can, but we strongly recommend you use our barrel supports. We understand there's a lot of hesitation with barrel supports, as they have been an afterthought with a lot of other manufacturers, but a properly integrated barrel support offers a lot of rigidity and support, which equals such a smooth draw. So this is set up without a vertical support, and as you can see, it's still pretty tight. But if you're running a lot of different lengths guns, you 100% can take the vertical support off and just run it like this. So we're going to set it up real quick. What I would recommend is leave one of the screws kind of tight. That way it's easier to adjust. And then leave the stud completely loose. Pull the barrel support all the way out. Take your gun, set it in, lock it, and then set it sideways like this. And you can adjust it and press it all the way in, and it'll kind of just self-center for you. Then you'll take and tighten the stud first, just like that. Once that's done, you can take your gun out and then tighten your 2 screws right here. And that is it for that part right there.
So one of the adjustabilities that we have is this ball joint, okay? I will be the first to say, Aaron and I were very skeptical about a ball joint. I've personally had very bad experiences with ball joints coming loose and set screws going into them, just wobbling out. And you definitely don't want any kind of playing here over time because you're coming down on your holster hard, you know, repetitively. However, with that said, we gave Gianni the opportunity to prove us wrong, and he did. Aaron and I both love the ball joint, and it's pretty freaking sturdy, especially if you Loctite the set screws. And yeah, so if you have any fears of the ball joint, give it a try. You'll be pleasantly surprised. Something else too about this is it gives you different distances from your body, okay? However, one of the complaints that we had with another holster company is if you brought it in, you had this nasty eyesore here and you had to hack it off if you didn't have the right tools. We're gonna offer 2 sizes, a short and a long. And so you'll have those available to you on the store. So if you wanted to bring this in closer without the kind of eyesore sticking out there. Let's talk about left-handed people. So as you can see in our main configuration, this is our right-handed shooter configuration. Levers on the outside. Everything technically is completely reversible, as you can see here in our left-handed variant. The only difference is the lever, the locking lever will be on the inside for the user. But other than that, we are completely left-hand compatible. It's just you're going to have a locking lever that now resides on the inside. Another common question that we get is, are we going to be compatible with the Henning hanger? As it sits now, it's not. However, Henning is already working on an adapter. And so what we're hopefully going to offer is just a body to save you a little bit of money if you already own the Henning hanger, and then you can buy the adapter from him. And so these two should mate up, and then you can use the wonderful Henning hanger as well. A big offering that we want to bring to the competitive shooting market is personalization. We all love having our own little personalized flare, and lasering of your holster is going to be a big part of it. That's one of the reasons we have such a large surface area, is we want to be able to have something to laser that's not skeletonized. And as you can see here, we have 3 pretty cool options. I want to keep this affordable so everybody can afford to personalize their holster. However, there's gonna be some limitations on that. We're not gonna spend a week designing your custom design like we did with case foam. It's gonna have to be something more simplistic, but as you can see, even simplistic designs can be pretty cool. All right, so one of the questions that we get like crazy is, what's our release schedule? So what you've been seeing right now are just beta tester variants that are going out. We've put this holster through the ringer. It's already won a major match. We really think it's where it needs to be and it's perfect. But with that said, there are certain little things like maybe a belt width that we didn't test for and whatnot that could be caught by some of our beta testers. So these are going out this week for our beta testers, and they're gonna have it for a couple weeks to see if they can find anything. And while they're doing that, we're gonna go ahead and put these into our first production drop. We're hoping to hit mid to late April. However, one of the pros of this holster is this was designed for you by competition shooters. We're not just some engineers in a factory. We're actually out there at the range, constantly using our gear and our equipment. And that's where a lot of our products have grown from, is personal need as competition shooters. But on the flip side, so we're shooting for mid to late April. My partner Gianni, standing here next to me, will be shooting an overseas A.P.E.X match. So if for some reason anodizing ran late or whatnot, we're going to push it out to the first week in May for the first drop. We're going to only drop 40 black and 20 blue with a twist that I'm not going to tell you about. And once those drop, we're going to start doing batches of 100 at a time, and we're hopefully going to get these into the major retailers that you're used to shopping at already alongside our store. But first 60 will be available through us, and then after that we're going to really push and try and keep production up.